Take a comfortable seat on your yoga mat. A few faces I haven't seen live yet for class, so happy to see everyone. All month long, whether we've realized it or not, we've been working on elements of sequence 1 of Yogahour. This is the last Sunday class for sequence 1 for the month. And I felt like this reading from Adrian Michael Green brought in a lot of that look back and forward aspect and reminding us. So the word of the day is more. And this reading from Adrian Michael Green says, "You are not your past, you are more. You are not your wounds, you are more. You are not your mistakes, you are more. You are not your insecurities, you are more. You are all the things you need and more. You are all the things you hope and more. You are all the things you want and more. You are all the things you love and more. May you always breathe deeper and bolder. You are beyond what anyone has ever told you. You are more." Bring the palms together, thumbs to the sternum and Anjali Mudra. Greet the intention to be more here on the mat today. And you are more simply by coming here. Take in a breath. Let it escape. One more breath in. Complete exhale out. Then join the palms back down to the thighs. Tuck your chin to the chest for a moment. But as you tuck the chin down, try to sit up taller through the back side of the body. Draw the navel in towards the spine slightly so you feel strengthened. Bring both hands behind your head and give a little extra push of the head up into the hands to keep enhancing and drawing more from this pose. And then release the hands, lift the head, open your eyes. Come over to all fours on your yoga mat. Place the hands under the shoulders and the knees underneath the line of the hips. And do cat and cow. Move the spine back and forth here. Go with the pace that feels right to you. Stay in one aspect of the pose longer than the next or shorter. Do what feels right. Downward facing dog. Tuck the toes and lift your hips. And in down dog, pedal your feet. Let your head wag a little bit side to side. Let the breath go. And then find a little bit of stillness in this pose. Meet yourself exactly where you are in this moment and know that that is more. And then look to your hands and move all the way forward. Step, jump, walk, stand up, mountain pose. Reach your arms down by your side, turn the palms in. And then arms to the sky, lift up. Exhale, forward fold, touch your toes. Half lift, extend from your hips out to the head, hands to thighs, shins, or even fingertips to the floor. And then step back to plank. Lower flat down to the belly. Reach your hands back behind you, palms to the sky. Lift everything that we can up in Shalabhasana, locust pose. And then lower it down and change to downward facing dog. Step your right foot in between your hands in a low lunge. Take your time here. Front knee over the line of the ankle. Back leg straight, strong, secure for you. And then come upright and lift the arms to the sky. Lower the hands down. Step back to plank. And then add a push-up in here. You can do that push-up on your toes, on your knees. Elbows straight back or out to the side. Second side, step the left foot forward in your low lunge. And take your time, come upright, arms to the sky, full breath here. Lower the hands down, step back. Another push-up, toes, knees, elbows out or in, and then downward facing dog. Breathe. Again, step your right foot forward to the low lunge. Now bring both hands to the inside and push your back heel flat against the ground, so 2 flat feet. You can hold the pose here. A little more challenge, walk the hands out for down dog lunge. Let your head relax so that you get the feeling of downward facing dog from your hands towards your hips, that long stretch and reach. And then a sense of solid foundation, strength of a warrior in your legs, front foot, back foot, even into the mat. And walk the hands back around the front foot. And do the second side here. Step forward, left foot. Step back on the right side. Spin the back heel down, walk the hands to the inside, and then out. Again, down dog lunge. Push a little more weight into the right leg and try to spin your hips still pretty parallel or pretty straight on to the front of the mat. And then walk the hands around the front foot and step both feet to the front of your mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Stand up, reach the arms to the sky. Palms together, center of the chest. Take it in, take a breath, and let it go. And then we keep going. Lift the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Step back to plank. Lower flat down against your yoga mat. Now, take the hands behind your head, elbows out to the side, and lift everything that you can again. Keep the legs straight, squeeze the heels in towards each other. Nicely done. Lower it down, change to downward facing dog. We go through our lunges again. Step the right foot forward, come upright. We'll go a little quicker now. Half a breath there, and then lower the hands, step back, hold the plank or add a push-up, down dog. Second side, left foot forward, come upright, half a breath, and then lower it down, step back, hold, or add your push-up, down dog. Take a breath, release it out. Again, step the right foot forward. Now walk your hands up to your front thigh and keep your torso pretty forward here. Reach the head as long as you can towards the front end of your mat and the back heel towards the back end of your mat. Keeping that length in the body, add a twist, left elbow towards the right side. You can hook the elbow across the thigh or stay more lifted to work stronger in the abdomen. You choose. Untwist, set the hands down and switch feet. Left foot forward, right foot back. Bring the hands up so you're hovering just above your thigh, maybe a little connection there of belly to thigh. Palms together, add the twist, right elbow towards the left. And then untwist, step forward, half lift, forward fold, stand up, arms to the sky, and palms together, center of the chest. One more round of the sun salutation. Lift the arms up, exhale and fold, half lift, step back to plank. Different again here, lower it flat down to the mat. Now arms forward, feet back, like superhero. Lift, 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 fly. Lower it down and find downward facing dog. Step your right foot in between the hands for low lunge. With balance, come upright, stretch the arms to the sky. Lower the hands down, plank pose. Push up or hold. Down dog. And second side, left foot forward. Lift up, high lunge. Lower the hands, step back to plank. Last push up for this series, down and up, and then down dog. Take a full breath in and out here. One more set of warm-up lunges, so right foot forward, both hands to the inside and back heel down. But now come upright in your torso, interlace your hands behind your back, keep the elbows bent and squeeze them together. Good, that keeps shoulder blades on the back, and then stretch the arms straight and lift the chest. Your choice, do you like this upright position? Or try head down towards the floor and arms to the sky. If your head is down and the arms are up, try to also lift the head of the shoulder up. It'll want to curl down and forward. Release the hands. Switch to the second side. We've done that left foot step forward, right foot step back each time. Back heel down, hands to the inside. So as you come up, for me that helps to shift some extra weight into the back leg, making the rest of the pose a little more doable. Hands interlace behind your back. Flip that second favorite finger in front. Squeeze in the elbows, straighten the arms. Should feel nice here in the lift. Stay there or fold it over. So this one's called no-handed lunge. Steadiness of the feet, knowing that they will hold you and more. Release the hands on either side of the front foot. Step both feet to the front of your mat. Half lift. Forward fold. Stand up, arms to the sky. Palms together, center of the chest. There are some days that I know I have maybe 10 minutes, 15 max, to roll out my yoga mat. That's what I do. Those 3 rounds of sun salutations. Feel here how it is a full practice in the body. Okay, but we will add on today. Take a wide stance in the middle of your mat. Point your toes straight ahead, your heels straight back. If you're using a yoga block, you'll want to place it by your right foot to help in things like triangle pose and half moon that are coming up here. Turn the right toes out, extend the arms, and reach as far as you can to the right. Lower the right hand down to yoga block, the floor, or I like to use my shin. Top arm to the sky. Look up. And in looking up, let the whole body look up. Rotate across the hips, the belly, the shoulders. And then come all the way back upright. Stay on this side and bend the right knee to warrior two. Can you go just a tad bit lower? As you go lower in the front thigh, broaden the knee towards the pinky toe side of your foot so you find a little more stretch and lengthening on your inner thigh. And then change elbow to knee, top arm, palm down overhead, and side angle pose. And again here, go for just a little bit more. Reach the top hands like an inch further over. Nicely done. Look at your bottom foot and change to a low lunge. If you're like me, I have to kind of pull in the stride. I'd gotten a little bit extra in that more. So low lunge here, back heel up. Inhale, straighten the front leg, and then exhale and bend. If you were using a block for those poses, maybe hands come underneath the block on the inside of the foot. And just go forward and back a couple of times here. And then from here, we'll shift to half moon pose. Step the back foot in a lot. You're in that runner's block start. Right hand out in front, so all of your weight now can go into the right foot and right hand, and then the back leg gets that running lift and start. Think like triangle pose. Can you open the hips, the belly, the shoulders, the top arm up towards the sky? Maybe even your gaze to the side or up. And then take it all back down to your low lunge. Spin the back heel down, come back to warrior two. Straighten both legs and turn your toes. Second side. Reach as far as you can to the left, triangle pose here. The left arm goes down again to a shin, to a yoga block or the ground, top arm to the sky. Take the bottom hand high enough that you really can feel the opening across shoulders, chest, belly, and hips. And then inhale, lift up to standing. Bend your front knee a lot. Maybe a little bit of bounce into it until you find what feels good for a few static moments. And then change, elbow to the knee, top arm, palm down, side angle stretch. So across the hips, belly, chest here, kind of take a picture and do your best to come back to that picture in half moon pose. So as you look down now at the left foot, come into your low lunge and shift forward and back a couple of times in this dynamic stretch, a moving stretch. Our body, our brain, our muscles need this change in how we do things, sometimes static, sometimes through movement. And then step it in and lift up, lift, lift, lift. Rotate across and open across the hips, the belly, the chest, the top arm. Bottom knee can stay bent to make this more doable. Go straighter as the low back and hamstrings allow. And then it all comes back into low lunge. Take a breath there, let it be. Warrior 2, spin the back heel down, come on up. Straighten the front leg, turn the toes parallel to one another. Wide-legged forward fold. Fingertips towards the earth and reach your head down towards the mat. Bring your hands to your waist. Squeeze the elbows in towards each other for that strengthening of muscles onto the back. And then come all the way upright. Heel toe the feet in. Give it a good little shake. Nice. This next set is one-legged balance poses. I want you to find a space on your mat in your room, whether it's touching a wall or not, that works for you. Right knee up and into your chest. Hold the front of the right shin and take the other arm out to the side. Good. Push down through the standing leg. Try to make your head grow taller up towards the sky. Stay and work here or add hand to the foot. Stay there or add a straighter leg. Think expand. What more do you get out of this pose today? Woo! And then come on down. Good. And so much of the play on the yoga mat is like remembering that we're not stuck in one trajectory. Like just because this pose didn't work or I fell out of it yesterday doesn't mean it's going to be that way today. So leaving ourselves open to the possibility. Take it out to the side. Certain classes of poses that I fight that all the time. See what happens today. And then bring it down, 2 feet to the ground, little shake. One more here in the one-legged pose. Bring the right knee up. Both hands around the front of the shin this time, and kind of curl head down towards your knee. Can you lift your knee up as you curl in? With that rounded back shape, hold on to the bottom of your foot. Kick it out. Come back to 2 feet on the ground. Let's give it a go. Second side. I know that I'm shaky today, so I'm going to put my back against the wall because I still want to find where I can do a hamstring stretch. So it's like play with where it's presented. Second side. Round in and then expand out, push. And take it all back, 2 feet to the ground. Come stand at the top of your mat. Clear the area by clearing your breath. And then child's pose. I know what I'm thinking about. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Chair pose. Bend the knees, sit into the thighs. Lift and look out to the fingertips. Take your hands to your waist and then make your torso more parallel to the floor. Eye gaze straight down. For warrior 3, bring your weight into the right foot. Tap your left foot back behind you. Stay and work there or lift the left leg up. Squeeze the glutes, the hamstrings a lot. Hands where you want them, to the front, to the sides, like an airplane, back behind you. Keep the hips as square as possible, even if you go for a straighter standing leg. And then left toes tap back down. Set the side, chair pose. Stand all the way up. Release the arms for half a breath. And then right back into it. Bend the knees, sit into your thighs. Bring the hands to the hips. Torso more parallel to the ground. Weight onto your left foot. Tap your right foot back behind you. This is a lot. This is amazing strengthening, stability work for the hip. Stay there or add the deeper challenge, right leg up. Change the arms. And back down, chair pose. Inhale, stand all the way up. Exhale, forward fold, fingertips touch the ground. Downward facing dog, step your feet back. Pedal out the feet a little bit. Next pose is our twisted triangle pose. If you're using your yoga block, this is a good one to have near your hands. It starts with our low lunge. Step the right foot forward in between the hands. Take a little shorter stance than you currently have. Hop in the back leg. Back heel flat down against the mat. Make one line from your front heel to your back heel, or even wider than that. Both hands to our hips. Straighten both legs. As you do that, let the torso pop up a little bit. Think long line from your hips out to the head. Square the hips as much as possible, and then take the left arm out in front. And this lever of the left arm actually helps me to have more power in rotating and squaring off the hips. Notice if that's happening for you. I get longer and I have a little more room to maneuver. And then from here, add the twist. Left hand down, head out, right arm to the sky. I like to think of it in those 3 points. It's not just what the arms are doing, but the length of the spine out through the crown of the head here. That's the little bit more. Both hands can come down. Nice full bend in the knees and step it forward. Swing up to standing. Exhale, forward fold. And then go back to downward facing dog. Step both feet to the back of the mat. So whether knees are bent or legs are straight here, in down dog, we have that full extension of the spine. Try to mirror that as you come into the second side of the twisted triangle pose. Left foot forward, slightly shorter stance, about heel to heel alignment. Bring the hands to the hips as you straighten the legs. Square off the hips best we can. Extend the right arm, see if that helps. Create the longer length for the hips. And then add the twist, right hand down. I'm going pinky toe side of the foot. You can also place the right hand on the big toe side of the foot for a little more balanced stability. So if the thing that's throwing you off here is your balance, take the right hand to the right side more, and you might find it feels like more. And then slowly untwist, bend both knees, step it forward. Stand all the way up, arms to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. And again, back to downward facing dog. Bring the right foot forward to your low lunge. Bring both hands to the inside of your foot, and then heel toe your right foot over towards the right side. Hop the left foot over towards the left. So if the pose before was pretty closed and twisted, now we're trying to get wider. Use the length and the width of your yoga mat. Come down to your hands, bend your forearms. Bow in to you. Maybe down to the forearms here in humble warrior. Giving ourselves this balance within the power. Keep the back leg lifted and strong. Your power comes in your humbling. As you come back up to the hands, lower the back knee. Pull the back heel in for a quad stretch. Opposite hand can reach all the way around and back to hold on here. So that twisted monkey lunge, right hand to the left foot. Lean the shoulders and the head back a bit. And then slowly unwind. Go back to downward facing dog. Step the left foot through to your lunge. Hands to the inside, broaden it out. And I should have given you I statements there. When I go lower and humble in, I find that the body and the mind is more powerful. So you go low in the upper body, try to stay high in the backside. Humble warrior. And then change to twisted monkey. Come back up to the hands, lower the back knee, pull the back heel in. And that might be your stopping point. Plenty of quad stretch already happening. Or try left hand, reach back and grab hold of the foot. Oof. I don't know about you guys, but this side for me is so much harder. Okay, release. Find a plank pose, top of your push-up. Nice, strong, steady there. Toes or knees in plank so that you feel steady and strengthened from this pose. And then lower flat down to your yoga mat. Bend both knees. Reach your hands back. Hold the air or hold your feet. If you're holding your feet, spread your toes and push the foot into the hand. If you're holding air, imagine your feet pressing back. And then everyone lift up as much as you can. Bow pose, lift, lift, lift. Keep breathing. We'll exhale, lower it down. Press back to child's pose. From child's pose to downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Side plank, bring your weight onto your right hand, outside edge of the right foot. Keep both feet down. You can step the left foot forward, a little more kickstand to help. If you need a little extra stability in the shoulders, the wrist, keep that kickstand of the left foot forward. You can try stacking the feet. or even lifting the left leg up away from the right. Go back to downward facing dog. So second side, we know the stages. Go through them a little bit quicker here. If you're stepping right foot forward, stay there, or go right into your stack. If you're in the stack, stay there, or lift the right leg up. And everywhere that we go, try keeping the lift of the hips towards the sky. Don't let them fall down. If you start to feel more weight in your shoulders than you do in downward facing dog, let the legs help you out of that. And then everyone, downward facing dog. Turn back. Come forward to plank. If you're using plank on your knees, I want you to stay there a little bit longer today. If you're using plank on your toes, turn to the top of your feet. Use that bus stop or the next and last bus stop, hips a little down and forward, and try to keep lifting your shoulders up and back for up dog. And up dog, just top of the feet and hands on the ground. And then roll back over your feet. Everyone lift up and back to down dog. Lower your knees and sit back on your heels. Maybe dry the sweat a little bit. We've got one more side plank variation that comes next here. Just catching my own breath. So the next pose is our flip dog, Kathamakrasana, wild thing pose. And I want to do it like this. We're all sitting back and place your hands at a diagonal. Right hand on the left side of your yoga mat. Left hand off of your yoga mat. And then in that sort of horizontal position, come to plank pose. Now everybody, walk your feet towards the left side of the mat, the same side that your right hand is on, and do side plank there. Keep looking down and step your top foot behind you so it's on the other side of your yoga mat. Now at this point, I bend the knees, let my butt drop kind of down towards the mat, and use that as a way to rotate and come back up into wild thing pose. Right leg straight if it works. And then we know to come out of the pose, we can just bend the knees until you're sitting down. And that will take some of that ask of all the rotation in the shoulder out of the pose. Because I think that strong rotation is something that gets a little jerky for us. Okay, so then we do the second side. It's like hands out, put them at the diagonal. Left hand is more on the right side of the mat, and you do your plank pose. Walk your feet over. Come into side plank. Immediately step the right foot behind you, so you don't have to worry too much about balance. Bend both knees, put your weight into the legs. Weight shifts towards the feet and legs, out of the hand and shoulder. And then you can rotate, straighten the legs and lift the hips again. Think of the lift of the hips that you do in bridge pose. Top arm up or up and over. And then don't worry about rotating over that arm, just sit back down and find all fours. Yeah? So just a little different look. I think that's a more accessible way to get into that position that ties up a lot of folks. From all fours, do a little cat and cow. Should feel nice here. More mobility in the spine than maybe where we started. And we're ready for pigeon pose. Bring the right knee forward behind the right wrist, heel towards the left hip. Now walk the left leg back until the hips are lower to the ground and come down to the forearms. Let everything quiet in. Calling back to that sense that we are more, we are everything we need, and we can stop the striving for just this moment at the very least. Just be. And then change to your second side. However feels best to you. I kind of come through all fours, but stay down on the forearms here in that softer sequence. Right leg back, left knee forward, heel towards the right hip. And transition again to lie flat down on your belly. So maybe you're coming up through all fours to get back down. Down dog if you like a big stretch in between. Once you're down on the mat, lift your right leg up, extend back and lower it down. Do the same on the left side so you feel pretty long through your legs and spine. Bend both knees and reach to hold on to your feet for a second round of bow pose. Instead of holding the top of your feet, can you walk your hands down to hold your ankles? If the answer to that is yes, then flex your feet. Keep the thighs down, everyone, as much as you can. Kick the heels out away from your body and lift the chest. Stretch the chest forward, the knees back, and then slowly lift the thighs a little more. Remember, at least 20% of that exchange of breath. Don't hold it. And then lower it down. Press back to child's pose. Let knees be wide, big toes together here. Take a couple of really free, open breaths through the belly. And then shift to sit on your seat. Stretch your legs out in front of you. Sit up tall through your spine here. So if you need to bend the knees so that you can sit more fully upright, do that. And then hold on to your right leg and sort of just cradle it forward and back. Swing forward and back. This is the pretzel-y portion of the sequence. We'll try to wear that right leg over our shoulder. Hook the calf over the top arm as high as you can towards the shoulder, but at least over the elbow. Place both hands down, extend now the opposite leg and look at your heel. As you look at the heel, press the hands down to lift your seat up. And then lower your seat down, lean back and lift your heel up. From that position, cross at your ankles and squeeze the knees into each other. Lean forward until you get your seat to come up. Sometimes I do that by pushing the feet down And I've got an extra point to work with. Extend the legs straight out to the side if everything's still happening for you. And then we all somehow find our way flat back down against the mat. Stretch the legs out. Take the second side. Hold on to your left leg and give it a little bit of a swing. You can fold this into a deeper cradle if that works for you. Push your foot into the eye of the elbow, and the other elbow wraps around the knee. And then push the knee further back, the thigh further back, but the foot up towards the sky. And use that to try to latch the leg higher onto the arm. Round your back, lean forward to place the hands down and lift your seat up. Take one side at a time. Lift the heel up. You can hover in between, both things lift at the same time. Cross the ankles. If you've got the ankles crossed and you're lifted, try legs straight out to the side as you fold over. And then you can just fall down. And stretch your legs out in front of you again. I often pretend none of that just happened and I was here, forward fold the whole time. On to the next. Hold on to your feet. Hold on to your legs. Just fold over. Lie down onto your back now. And take your hands to cushion underneath your seat and take your feet up to the sky. Leg raises. We'll glue the inside edge of the feet together. Shoulders, head can stay on the mat here. And lower the legs about halfway down. Refirm, belly button towards the spine. Feel a connection mid-low back down towards the mat. And then maybe lower the legs a little bit more. Find where your lowest range is, keeping the engagement and steadiness of the core. And then start to move the legs up and down between those 2 points. So towards the ground and towards the sky. If this is feeling great to you and you want a little bit more challenge, take the hands behind your head. All good there, and still more challenge. Lift the head and shoulders off of the mat so you're doing a crunch in the upper body as you continue the lower abdominal work as well. Go slower, go faster as you wish. Slower is harder. Just 5 more seconds here in the movement. And then pull your knees into your chest. Give yourself a full hug. Relax head and shoulders back down if they're lifted, and rock a little bit from side to side. Okay, here we get to set our feet flat on the mat. Reach your hands to brush close to your heels. Set your feet outer hip distance apart. Give yourself a little space. And then press down through your feet, your shoulders, and your head, and lift your hips up. Squeeze your glutes a lot. I like to think of bridge pose these days as a strengthening pose for the back side of the body. Squeeze it all in. And then it just has this extra benefit down the line of giving opening across the front side. Focus on the strength of the back though. Hamstrings, glutes, spine. And then lower the hips down. Take the hands out to a T shape. Bend at the elbows if you have a little less space. Pick the feet up and lower the knees over to the right side. And a supine twist. Like I asked you in a pigeon pose, soften here. Do a little less. And then pick the knees up across the center and set them down to the second side. Let it be. Hi, Stella. You want to come do the end with us? Okay. And then pull the knees back into the middle and rock yourself up to a seated position. As we come up to a seated position, take Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, knees out to the side. Yeah? In Baddha Konasana, take your arms straight in front of you, straighten the arms, like stop signs in your hands, and then hinge forward. Now, can you squeeze your knees up towards your shoulders and bend your elbows until your upper arm bones come somewhere along your shins. This is your crane pose, crow pose, Bakasana, however you wish to name it. So you can stay and work in that seated crane pose, or push yourself up onto your feet, and with bent elbows, take your hands low, and you're in that crouched position again. Round in your back and lift your butt higher. Both hands, both feet can stay on the floor for Bakasana, or try one or both feet lifting up, and it's a shift of the weight. One or two breaths more. And then everyone come back to an upright bound angle pose. Your upright butterfly, hands behind you now. Lift the chest. Let the knees flap just a little bit. And then pull the knees back in. We'll lower back down to the mat. Last time we stay down here now. Knees into the chest. Good, steady squeeze. Set the soles of the feet on your mat. Take the hands back out to a T or a bend at the elbows. Have the feet now as wide as your sticky mat. Lower both knees towards the right and then up across the center and to the left. So it's like windshield wipers, kind of at their medium pace. Constant bit of lift and lowering. One more time each side. And then rest, soles of the feet on the mat, but knees together. Arms down by the side. Stay here in supported Shavasana, or if there's any other little bits of movement that you'd like, take that now. If you'd like, extend the legs all the way out into sort of the traditional Shavasana shape, arms, legs extended. Let your gaze stay low or close the eyes here. Stillness, softness, release now. As you stay still, as you stay soft, take in these words once more from Adrian Michael Green. You are not your past, you are more. You are not your wounds, you are more. You are not your mistakes, you are more. You are not your insecurities, you are more. You are all the things you need and more. You are all the things you hope and more. You are all the things you want and more. You are all the things you love and more. May you always breathe deeper and bolder. You are beyond what anyone has ever told you. And slowly now bring attention and awareness back to breath and body together. Take your time to move a bit and to shift all the way to a seated position. Once in your seat, bring palms together, thumbs to the sternum, and Anjali Mudra. Greet all of you. And we'll close our movement class together through the sound of Om. The sound of Om. One translation or one meaning is that it is the sound of beginning. As we end this practice and begin the rest of the day, sing with me, listen, or tune it out. Take a breath in, let it go. Breathe in again. And bow in deep gratitude to you, each other, and this practice. Namaste.